Hi, I'm Scott Scarborough with Blazer Boats. You know, we've been getting a lot of questions lately from folks wanting to know more about our front deck layout and the tackle organization, uh, the overall capacities up here. And we're also going to cover a couple of things like some new Livewell changes that we just started in the last year and some changes to the console. Just got this boat and just loading it up with gear, so this is probably as good a time as any. Just stand by, let me put all this stuff away, and then we'll get started on the tour. Now let me show you what each one of them holds. Okay, now that we've got all that stuff put away, we can talk a little bit about the front deck. The deck itself is 77 inches wide inside to inside, almost 8 feet long. Marine cut pile carpet, so your baits won't hang up. It's high grade carpet. All stainless latches, really good for, they don't leak or anything like that, so you won't get water in your boxes. Start off here in the center. We've got our center tackle storage box. It'll hold 8 3700 tackle trays. I keep all my soft plastics in there just because they're easy to get to if I have to replace a bait or something like that. Over here we have the day box. I don't really use it as a day box. I keep all my hard baits in there, crankbaits, rattle traps, jigs, top water stuff. I do keep my hooks and weights right on top because, again, I want to be able to get to those easily. There's a tray in there as well that you can keep an extra reel, some spools of line, some fish attractant if you need that during the course of a day. Really comes in handy, and the point was when these were built was to just make it to where you could get to anything you would need if you were in a re-rigging situation without having to get bent over into a box or get down on your knees. Everything's right here in arm's reach. You got your scissors, split ring pliers, regular pliers, line if you need it, all right here, sitting up high, and again, easy to get to. So that was the focus. That's what we're trying to achieve with this boat, and really, I think we've done that. So moving right along, I do keep a little bit of extra stuff in this box. I've got 8 of these trays stacked, and they're just bins that I keep some extra trailers and flipping baits and stuff like that. There's some box full of treble hooks and different things that I may or may not need. Probably won't, but I got them if I do. I also got 4 extra 3700s with some oddball colors just in case I need them. This box is actually super long. I mean, I'll give you an example here with this. So if you had a net that didn't have a retractable handle, you could still keep it in here. This box actually goes about as far, it'll go out of sight, so you could keep a long-handled net in there or whatever else. I usually keep my stuff that I'm going to usually end up taking out in the morning, the net, the vest, the things like that. So really big, long box though. Moving on to this box, we've gotten some questions from folks wondering why we didn't put 2 rod lockers, and quite frankly, the answer to that question is we don't need to, and I'll show you why. I carry a couple of spare rods usually, and let me grab one and I'll show you what I mean. This is a 7'8". I'll keep the spare rods over on this side because it's more technique specific thing that I need them for. I can change a reel and I've got what I need, and I don't have to carry a whole ton of extra rods and reels. But this box will hold, that's a 7'8", and there's still probably 6 inches beyond that handle. So, need for 2 rod lockers is probably not that important. So that box is, other than that, relatively empty. You saw all the stuff we had here on the front deck, and there's almost nothing in there. I've got a fire extinguisher and a weigh-in bag, so tons of room. And then we'll move over to the rod locker, and I'll show you what I mean there. With the organizer in this rod locker, it'll hold 12 rods. There is straps in here to keep them down if you're going, if you're in a bunch of waves or rough water. Some of the pros like Jesse Tacarante and Bradley Dorch that run this boat, they will take the organizers completely out. And when you do that, this box will hold 30, 35, 40. I've heard that with 30 rods, it's only half full, so that would mean 60. I'll stick with 40, but it'd hold a lot of rods without the organizers. So no need, again, for 2 rod lockers. I quite frankly would rather have the day box. So huge. You could put a person in there if you needed to carry somebody else, but I wouldn't recommend that either. So but yeah, so again, the layout was meant to make things convenient or easy to get to, and and this front deck, I really think we've done that. All right, so almost as important as your tackle storage and all that, or probably more important than that, is your Livewell system. Now we are using twin Keep Alive recirc pumps, and those pumps actually inject the air at the impeller. The difference is when it shoots that oxygenated water out of your recirc pumps, the bubbles are so small that it almost will give your water a milky color. It's actually pretty amazing to see it. Those bubbles remain in the water column way longer than anything else that's on the market that we've seen. And you compare that to like an old Max Air system or something like that, and there just is no comparison. Also included, and I'll stick a GoPro down there so you can see it, our system includes directional discharge, which is that right there. So that directional discharge really keeps the jets that you typically see in recirc pumps from damaging the fish slime coat and scales. And I mean, that's hugely important in fish care, is to not have a jet that's, it's like somebody sitting there with a hose knocking the slime and scales off of a fish. It doesn't get a whole lot of thought, but that is an issue on when it comes to keeping fish alive. So a great system, 44 gallons, divided Livewell system, twin recircs, independent fill pump, independent pump out, and a drain. So we're pretty proud of our system here, and it is kind of one of a kind. One of the newest features to the 625 Pro Elite was the console change to now accept up to a 12-inch unit, whether it's Lowrance or Humminbird, and the ability to put a dual mount on. And we've done all that without changing the overall height of the windshield or anything like that, so it's still super easy to see over this. I've got a clear view. I'm 5'8", sitting right here. I've got a clear view of all the electronics, the full screen, it's just something that it was time to do, and we've done it. So 12 and under, and it'll fit.